Patriots, the dynasty has burned to the ground. It's over.
It's over.
But just because it's over doesn't mean we can't profit on a New England-Miami over with the PFF Picks of the Week. I'm George Chahrouri, Eric Eager alongside, and we are brought to you, as usual, by mybookie.ag. It is the best place to get all of your bets down, regardless of what you want to do. Spreads, totals, individual fantasy players, whatever you want to do, head to mybookie.ag. Use promo code PFF to get a dollar-for-dollar match on your first deposit. We love it. We use it. They're awesome. Make it happen. PFF plus MyBookie. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, let's start, not with New England. We'll get there. Let's start in Tennessee, where the Eagles are playing the Titans, and the Eagles are actually favored by 4 points. So based on all the trends, everything that's happened this year, we're clearly on the home dog, right?
Right. The Titans' only loss this season was to a 3-0 Dolphins team.
They're great.
They've beaten a Texans team that everybody loved going into the year. And then last week they beat the Jaguars, and yet we have Philadelphia here covering a 4-point spread. They're the top team in our PFF ELO rating. A lot of things last week were fluky. They doubled up the Colts in terms of yards. They just struggled in the red zone and on third down. We think those things regress, and they come away here winning handily in Tennessee.
Yeah, the Titans feel a little fraudulent, right? They won a game with Blaine Gabbert, who got outthrown by Byard, right? Kevin Byard had the longest pass of that game, and I think it's important to try and tease away the difference between record and sort of skill, and the difference between winning close and actually dominating games. And I think that's where the Eagles have shown their strength. They're our #1 ranked defense. Great defense. Carson Wentz gets that offense back to being great. I think this could end up being a sizable victory for the Huevos de Doug Eagles. All right, next up, let's move to Rome. The fall of Rome, New England. They are hosting the Dolphins. I've heard everything about the trends with them, winning after losing 2 straight. That's not where we're going to go. The over here is enticing.
Yeah, so the market's currently at 48. We like the over here. I just think, the Miami team plays fast, right? Like last week, they only had, under 50 plays, yet they were able to beat Oakland based upon big plays with their speedy receivers, Albert Wilson, Jakeem Grant, Kenny Stills. All those guys are making a ton of plays. Ryan Tannehill is being very efficient. I don't think the New England defense has the goods to sort of match that, but I do think their offense will come to life this week against a Dolphins team that I don't think has really played an offense that would scare anybody.
Yeah, for Ryan Tannehill, it's all about that clean pocket. 115 pass rating from a clean pocket. And what did New England totally fail to do? They didn't lay a hand on Matt Stafford. He was basically wearing a non-contact jersey back there on Sunday night. So I think that bodes very well for the Dolphins, who I think have no problem scoring here. And then for New England, they have to get that offense back on track, back at home. I think Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady, they went back into the lab. They've got some things going for them on offense. I think the sail's over the 50 mark here. All right, last but not least, a team that we have loved to hate for the entirety of the offseason. That is the Houston Texans. The Texans had a lot of Super Bowl hype going into the season. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, they're playing cornerback. They can cover. It's going to be glorious. And yet, hasn't gone so well. All of that said, they go into Indianapolis, and they are only getting 1.5 points.
Yeah, I mean, that would imply that the market thinks that they're a better team than the Colts in a neutral site. We simply disagree, right? The Colts have made a concerted effort to get the ball out of Andrew Luck's hands quickly, and on passes of 2.5 seconds or less. The Texans are giving up over a 130 passer rating this year from a clean pocket, similarly so, and they're not getting pressure. They've only gotten pressure at the 31st best rate so far this season. So I think that the Texans defense gets a lot of publicity for having J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, Jadeveon Clowney, and that, but their defense hasn't lived up to that reputation so far.
Not even close. The funny thing about that is, so they're just getting killed from a clean pocket, right? And they're blitzing a ton and getting the 2nd lowest rate of pressure. So, something's not adding up there. I think this is an excellent opportunity for Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton to get back to where we kind of remember them being. Hopefully there are no Hail Mary situations and Jacoby Brissett doesn't need to come into the game. But I think that's actually an interesting kind of slant to this game, right? I think Andrew Luck is getting killed for not being able to throw the ball 60 yards, and everyone's saying, oh, Deshaun Watson, he'll get it back together. But I actually think Andrew Luck will be fine. They've played 3 pretty good defenses so far this year, including obviously the Bengals and the Eagles last week. So I think this is an excellent opportunity to take, I think, what is the better team that the public does not think is the better team. So Indy covers 1.5 at home. Those are our 3 picks for this week. If you want more, make sure you go to ProFootballFocus.com. We'll have a picks column up with 5 picks for this week. And then, of course, if you want them all, PFF Greenline has every pick on every NFL game. Get yourself a MyBookie AG account and profit.